Hello, my precious little fillies. Welcome back to the Psychology podcast series. Today we're going to be discussing the ACT series, which stands for Acceptance Commitment Therapy. We're going to be shortening that to ACT from here on out. But otherwise, this is part 1, chapter 1, whichever way you want to describe that. But otherwise, let's begin. Now, counseling is different from going to see things like a psychiatrist, psychologist, therapist, things like that. I'm not going to go in and describe the differences or anything like that. When you go in and see a counselor, there's going to be some things that come on first, like the first session or first couple are going to be things like collecting information, who you are, what has your life journey been like, things like that. But once you actually are able to sit down and that first question hits, like, what has brought you to counseling? What has brought you in? That's where it really begins. And I'll say this first. Counseling isn't a counselor giving advice. It's not someone that you can just spill your whole life to and they just listen and take it. Counseling is a lot more than that. When that session is happening and we are listening to everything that's happened to you, all of the worries and things that have brought those tears to your eyes, or just whatever has brought you there that day. We are listening and formulating how best we can help you and what method or technique will assist best in helping you. What technique can we use to help deliver what we're trying to say? We're trying to figure out a way to best help you. And we can do that in many ways. We can do things like ACT. We can use things like CBT, EFT, DBT. And I know this all sounds like things of just the alphabet, just forgetting how it's supposed to be arranged. But there are just different techniques that we can use, and not all of them work for everybody. But the simplest technique that I can use to explain right now is CBT. That's cognitive behavioral therapy. Cognitive meaning thoughts, behavior meaning actions, the way that we act. So for example, let's say that you get invited to a party, and as you're going there you start having thoughts, cognitive. And those thoughts are saying, oh, no one's going to talk to you. No one will even notice you. And then when you go to that party, you start acting on those thoughts. And you're like, yeah, no one's going to talk to me. So you start crossing your arms, you grab a drink, and you go to the corner of the room, and you start just kind of shouldering everybody. And yeah, no one's going to want to talk to you. You're giving everyone the cold shoulder. No one's going to want to talk to anyone in the corner. And you're just giving and you're mean mugging everybody. So yeah, no one's going to want to talk to you. You're acting on those thoughts. You're making those thoughts reality. You're behaving on those thoughts. Cognitive thoughts, behavior. You're acting on those thoughts. You're behaving in a way that make those thoughts a reality. Cognitive behavior therapy. And in that counseling session, we talk about the thoughts that led to that action, or the reverse, where let's say it's a different scenario. So I'm going to warn it for headphones in a second if anyone's wearing those. So let's say there's a different person that comes into counseling, and they go to the same party, and then they go, no one wants to talk to me in that party. I'm a great person. Why wouldn't they want to talk to me? Everyone just kept walking and stepping away from me. Now, their actions speak differently. They had the same thoughts. No one wanted to talk to them. But their actions, they were more aggressive. They were loud. They were unapproachable. And they're upset. They had different actions. In those counseling sessions, we would talk to both of them, and that was the technique that we would use. So, That's one of the ways that we can try to help people in counseling. That's one of the techniques. But the one that I'm going to be talking about in this podcast series is Acceptance Commitment Therapy, ACT. And in all these techniques, they're not as simple as that. They're a lot more in depth. It's kind of like saying, explain science in a couple words. No, they're all much harder than that. Explain math in a couple words. No, there's different categories. There's more steps. It's a lot more intricate than that. It's a lot harder than that. There's a lot more to it than what I can explain. So everything that I'm going to be doing in this podcast series is surface level. It's going to be examples. It's going to be tools. It's going to be repetitive stuff. So to kind of just scratch at the surface of what acceptance commitment therapy is. It's just as the title kind of says, just like cognitive behavior therapy is. Acceptance commitment therapy is accept what's going on, or just really accepting just kind of everything overall. Accept what's going on, because there's some things that you just can't change. Accept your feelings, acceptance, but also commit to where you want to be, where you want to go. And the most important part, therapy. This series is not here to replace therapy. This series is here to be used as a toolkit to help and nothing more. To help those who want to help themselves, for those that are in therapy and then want to talk to their therapist of any sort and say, hey, I want to use ACT in our sessions, or I've heard of these tools and I want to try to use them. Or for those, unfortunately, that may not be able to afford therapy or just want to try to use some of these tools, that's what it's here for. To also be here to ask questions, and I can use my channel to discuss it a little bit more and explore it a little bit more if possible. Acceptance commitment therapy. Accept, commit, therapy. Accept all, commit to keep moving, and therapy. So just to summarize it overall, counseling is one of many ways that we can all receive mental health assistance. ACT is one of the many techniques that can be used, or tools that can be used to help us receive that help, kind of like medicine in a way. And this channel is here to kind of see if it's something that will help you, and a tool to kind of use and practice with. So that's about it today, my silly little fillies, and I'll see you in the next chapter. Bye bye.